Formula One world champion Max Verstappen has admitted he will have to adapt the way that he drives, with the new rules coming into racing next season. The most noticeable and biggest change coming to the upcoming season is the introduction of the sweeping overhaul to F1's technical regulations. F1's new car was originally intended to make its debut in 2021, but the rules package was postponed by a year due to the outbreak of COVID-19, which delayed and heavily disrupted the 2020 season. There will be changes including tyre width and the weight of the car, plus a reduction in the spending cap, which many think will close the gap between the grid. Max says he will have to adapt, and that is a shame, because he likes his car. I like the current cars in terms of speed because it's really impressive how much grip you have. So the new cars definitely will be a few seconds slower. But that is with the idea of having better racing, that you can follow a bit closer. That's what they want. Because at the moment when you get close, you have a lot of disturbance from the car in front. The tyres will look completely different with 18-inch wheels, different reaction from the tyres as well. I have to adapt my driving to it. It feels a little bit sharper. The reaction of the tyres and just the general traction you have out of the corners feels a bit different. So I'm interested to see how it's going to feel in real life. Verstappen says he will be disappointed to see the cars of this generation going away. However, he is excited to work on the 2022 cars and thinks this will reshape his game. Everyone always says, "What is your driving style like?" Well, I don't think I actually have one. It's just you adapt to the situation. That is your driving style, because if the car is understeering, you have to adapt yourself to the understeer. If the car is oversteering, you have to adapt yourself to that. So you cannot say this is my driving style and that's how I'm going to drive. It's impossible, because sometimes it just doesn't work with the material you have. So I think adaptation at the end of the day is key. However, what may prove to be a bigger issue for Verstappen is the number of penalty points he currently has on his FIA Super license. A driver can only accumulate a maximum of 12 points across 12 months before facing action, and Verstappen enters next season on 7, meaning he will be walking a disciplinary tightrope if he's involved in more than 1 or 2 collisions that he receives the blame for. Each penalty point handed to a Formula One driver stays on their licence for a 1-year period, and picking up 12 points across that time frame earns an automatic 1-race ban, after which the points are reset to 0. Verstappen has amassed 7 points in the past 12 months, and the first of those points will not expire until the 12th of September 2022, by which point there will already have been 16 races of the new season. All of the title-winning Dutchman's points in 2021 came late in the year, and while contending with the championship against Lewis Hamilton. And crashes between the championship leaders are actually really quite common. Michael Schumacher was disqualified from the 1997 championship after driving into Jacques Villeneuve at the final race, in an attempt to take both out of the race. The incident backfired for Schumacher as he retired from the race, and Villeneuve finished with the points he needed to win the title. Schumacher won the 1994 championship after colliding with Damon Hill at that year's final race, but that controversial incident passed without a penalty or punishment. Ayrton Senna also won in 1990 by driving Prost off the road at that year's Japanese Grand Prix. Senna later admitted that he planned to drive into Prost if he got ahead of him on the run from the grid to turn 1, which is how the situation played out. But he also escaped without penalty. But back to Hamilton and Verstappen's incidents last season. The first arrived at the Italian Grand Prix, where he collided with Hamilton at turn 2 during the race. Verstappen's Red Bull ended up accidentally parked on top of the Mercedes on lap 26 in Monza after he attempted to pass Hamilton around the inside of turn 1 and into the inside of turn 2. The stewards sided with Hamilton over the incident, saying at no point was the Red Bull driver fully alongside his rival, which meant he could not claim the inside of the corner. He was hit with a 3-place grid drop for the following race in Russia, and also slapped with 2 points on his licence. Verstappen picked up a further 2 points at the Qatar Grand Prix for failing to respect double-waved yellow flags during qualifying. He followed that up by picking up 3 points at the penultimate race of the season, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, for 2 separate incidents, both of which came while he battled with Hamilton. In the first, the reigning world champion was punished for leaving the track and gaining a lasting advantage, while he was handed a further 2 points for braking in a manner which caused cause a collision with Hamilton on lap 38 at turn 27. Those points that Verstappen collected in Qatar and Saudi Arabia came on November the 21st and December the 5th, but the 2022 season is scheduled to end on the 20th of November 2022 in Abu Dhabi. That therefore guarantees that Verstappen will carry 5 points across the full 23 race calendar, heightening the need for him to be careful against picking up any more. Hamilton, by contrast, was hit with 2 penalty points in 2021, which came for his first lap incident with Verstappen, which saw the Red Bull crash out of the British Grand Prix. They will expire on the 18th of July 2022, by which point there will have been 11 races. Only Sebastian Vettel has picked up more penalty points than Verstappen in F1 since 2015, with 30, 6 of which came in 2021, with Red Bull's other driver Sergio Perez just behind on 24, 7 in 2021. Only rookie Yuki Tsunoda of AlphaTauri had more penalty points than Perez and Verstappen in 2021, with the Japanese ending on 8. Verstappen tallied 8 in his debut season in 2015, an amount he has never matched or gone beyond since, having been praised for his increasing maturity at the wheel. Something that Red Bull consultant Helmut Marko agrees with. He's a little less aggressive, yes, and can look at the bigger picture better now. That's an important difference. In the early years, Max wanted to be the fastest at all times and under all circumstances. He's now learned to dose it and deliver it if it really is necessary. The discrepancy is that he already showed that maturity during his very first race for Red Bull. Another important difference is that if we had a problem during free practice a few years ago, Max would explode and yell through the pit box. He sometimes took that impatience with him on the track. For example, if a back marker did not move quickly enough. Now Max is much calmer. He performs consistently and at an exceptionally high level. He is a truly extraordinary driver. In previous years, Verstappen picked up just 1 penalty point in 2016, before then 3 in 2017 and 7 in 2018. In 2019, the 24-year-old collected 4, but was able to go the full 2020 season without being handed a single point, before accruing 7 in 2021. Hamilton branded his rival as effing crazy after their collision in Qatar, to which Red Bull team principal Christian Horner later responded, "He's certainly not crazy. You've got 2 guys, different ages, going for the biggest prize in motorsport. It's frustrating. There's been some confusion. Some incidents get punished, some go unpunished." Max does tend to get the harsher verdict, particularly when you look back at the weekend. But this is not the only time Verstappen's driving has been criticised. Double world champion Mika Hakkinen criticised Max after a collision between himself and Hamilton following the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in 2021. Verstappen was ordered by the stewards to let Hamilton retake the lead. However, he did so by braking, with Hamilton also slowing before making contact with his rival. Stewards deemed Verstappen's actions to be worthy of a 10-second time penalty and also issued 2 penalty points on his licence. Hakkinen said, "With Max being asked to give the lead back to Lewis, the solution was clear," he said. "When you have to let a car repass, there is only one way to do it safely, and that is to make a clear move to one side, come off the throttle slightly and allow the natural speed differential to enable your competitor to repass you." What happened in Jeddah was dangerous. Both drivers knew that the DRS activation line lay ahead, so neither wanted to be the first to cross it, since that would enable the other driver to overtake them on the next straight. The duel between the two will continue with the season opening Bahrain Grand Prix on the weekend of March the 18th to March the 20th. With changes to the cars and also those penalty points looming over Max Verstappen, there's already so much to look forward to for next season's championship.